afternoon. I hope you are having a fantabulous day, despite the headlines of this live. I hope all is well. You know, some days are good, some days are not so good. And this one, I'm sad to say that, you know, it's not so good. So the question that I have is, how did this female bodybuilder die at the Arnold? How did this happen? I came across this article titled Athlete Dies at the 2025 Arnold Sports Festival, Evolution of Bodybuilding. So I'm going to read this off to you so we can better answer the question of, you know, how did this happen? How did this happen? I've been seeing a couple articles come across to where these bodybuilders have been passing away and dying. I don't follow bodybuilding that close like that to know who the movers and shakers are or are not. I myself have never competed or trained to be in a physique show, right? For those who don't know, the Arnold Sports Festival is a bodybuilding competition, both for male and female, different weight classes, and different, just different categories, right? And that goes to show you how much I know about this. And I want to preface this live with that. You know, I don't ever want to come on here claiming I know something more than I do. And when I don't, I just let you know that I don't know it. And this is one of them. This is one of them. But before we get into that, this is another ad that just popped up. I'm trying to make sure this article stays on my computer so I can read it off as opposed to being on my phone. But since I'm on my phone right now, let's go ahead and share this live. I'm going to share this on Twix and on my community wall here on my YouTube page. Here on my YouTube page. So I hope you're having a good day. Let me know what your workout was today. This is going into my post-workout vibes category far as for this playlist and everything like that, because this is in the afternoon, the time that I usually finish, working out, and I did work out today. So let me know what your workout was before we get into this article about, this athlete dies at, how she died at this Arnold Sports Festival. So I'm just on my other phone right now saying that I'm live. And if you can do that for me on your wall too, I would appreciate that. And boom, going to get into that. But today, as far as my workout, I did 20 minutes on the bike this morning. And then I had 2 sessions with clients. Matter of fact, 3. I had 1 on Zoom. Then I had one-on-one in person. We did biceps and triceps, supersets. It's been a while. Noticing my right side is now not catching up or slagging off from my left side. I spent like last year trying to strengthen my left side of my body, my left hand. My left side is not as strong as my right, but I've been focusing so much on that now when I was doing when I was doing some dumbbell tricep extensions, excuse me, I noticed my right side wasn't going all the way down, and when I did, I felt just a little twinge right there. Nothing too crazy, but just noticeable, right? When you're trying to get back into the swing of things, like I've let you know about just the pain that I've been going through pretty much more so this last year. Now, lately, maybe this last 4 or 5 months, dealing with this plantar, fasciitis, and been healing from that. And speaking about plantar fasciitis and getting back into the swing of things, I actually recorded a video of some of the therapy that I go through or that I do at home with a tennis ball. And right here. So this is my tennis ball. As you see, it got a little hair on it. It ain't my hair, but some hair on it. And I just set it on the ground and I just roll it over my foot. But I wanted to get this video out first before I edit that video and post it up as a short. So stay tuned. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. So, we did biceps and triceps, high reps today. What was that? 5 sets. 5 sets, 15 reps. Started off um, pyramid, up or down, both with different ways, and knocked that out. So 15, 12, and 10. Then we did 10, 12, and 15. So that's actually 6 sets. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 different exercises, 2 biceps, 2 triceps. So let me know what your workout was. Let me know what your workout of the day was. It's kind of speaking about what this article is going to be talking about more or less is hydration. Hydration. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Miss Robin. Hydration is very important. Hydration is very important. And that leads into this article. About athlete dies at the 2025 Arnold Sports Festival. I was on Facebook a couple of days ago, and I seen this come across my timeline. And I'm like, man, like another one. It's not even on no DJ Khaled stuff. And I'm like, how does this happen? How does this keep happening? I've been seeing this, and this can make people possibly even more hesitant about starting their fitness journey or their their workout journey, whatever. And when they see things like this, it's like, how does this happen? And how does this happen to somebody so young? So I wanted to know how this person passed away. And looking into the article, I got my answer. But first and foremost, condolences out to the family, to the friends, and anybody that this person has came in contact with. And I will have this article in. This article is actually, if you look in the description right now, this article is in there. So you can look at it, what I'm reading, and follow along. So athlete dies at the 2025 Arnold Sports Festival Evolution of Bodybuilding. Now, this also brings up something that I'm going to want to try. Let me know if you like this or not. Let me try this green screen. I don't know if I'm supposed to set this up prior or during this time. So if it looks kind of funky, I won't do it. So I'm just trying different stuff with this live. Okay, let's see. I don't even know if I should do this or not, but hey, let's try something different, right? Let's try something different. What about this? All right. So this is the article that I'm actually reading. I don't know if I can squint myself down or squint this up. All right, let's try another. You like that one or not? Let me know. No. Okay. Thank goodness this is a subscribers only live. Okay, let me try this. I haven't done a green screen ever. This is my first one. So this is the article that I'm actually reading. It looks kind of different. All right, I can rock with this. All right, let's get right into it. According to sources close to evolution of bodybuilding.net, coach/athlete Jodie Vance passed away allegedly due to severe hydration. So allegedly due to severe dehydration, not severe hydration, severe dehydration, which resulted in a major heart attack. That is sad. And so Jodie Vance, condolences to the Vance family and friends and anybody that she's come in contact with, clients and everything like that. Condolences. But Jodie passed away allegedly due to severe dehydration, which resulted in a major heart attack. Jodie was very new to the competition scene, which left her family and friends shocked with her sudden death. According to sources, Jodie was backstage working as a posing coach with one of her athletes when she started to feel unwell. It's still not confirmed if Jodie was preparing to step on stage to compete at the 2025 Arnold Classic amateur event, but a post by IFBB pro Bree Marshall indicated that Jodie was also prepping to step on stage this week at the Arnold. So, according to this article so far, she passed away due to severe dehydration that led to a heart attack. That's the first time I've ever heard of dehydration um, causing a heart attack? I don't know too many people who have passed away, whether close or just in the stratosphere, in the atmosphere, who passed away for dehydration. You always hear about dehydration being a bad thing. Um, and I believe there's several different forms of dehydration. But let's keep reading on because I can go all day left and right about that. But moving on to the article, a post by Lee Dorante explains everything in detail from Jodi collapsing backstage to passing away moments later. Yesterday was the worst day of my life. I lost my best friend, coach, nutritionist, partner, family member, and the most brilliant, beautiful girl I've met in many years. For the last 2 years, Jodie Vance trained with me, posed me, imposed me, coached me, and shared her life with me. Yesterday, as I was on stage competing, Jodi suffered from a massive dehydration from vomiting. Jodi suffered from massive dehydration from vomiting. Being the ever professional, she didn't tell anyone. As she stated, I'm a coach first. Allie took her back to the hotel to get her fluids. During the break, she became unresponsive and was rushed to the ER. Jodi had a heart attack and couldn't be saved. She died, never seeing that she helped me achieve a dream. Nothing will ever express how much I miss you. So this is a quote by somebody named Lee Dornet. I'm sorry, I'm messing up, this name. So this looks like this may have been one of her clients. May have been um, somebody close to her. Obviously, this person said they were on stage, and while their person was on stage, this is when Jodi, passed away. So keep scrolling down. Then a post by a family member on Jodi's Instagram page also confirms her death. So from Jodi's family and loved ones. For those that haven't heard yet, Jodi passed away yesterday afternoon. Her heart stopped due to complications of severe dehydration. Despite all efforts by the hospital, they were unable to revive her. She was a beautiful person inside and out, and she will be missed every single day. This was sudden and unexpected. Please give her family time to process this loss in peace. If anyone takes anything from this, please, please, please put your health first. Both Jodi's friends and family confirmed her death was due to complications from dehydration. This again confirms that something has to be done to protect the athlete's health with a better education. So now it goes on into some screenshots to some people online. So every coach has a coach, right? Or should have a coach, right? Most do. So this looks like, if you're following along this article with me, click in the description and you will see the link to this. So this person I'm looking at, his name, I'm on Instagram, JIMIHALY underscores. So I guess his name is Justin Mahaley. According to sources, Justin Mahaley of Elite Coaching Academy was allegedly working with Jodi, and he has already felt the wrath of the bodybuilding community regarding the protocol that she was on. So according to some bodybuilders that I've talked to who compete, they have a coach and they give them this nutritional, protocol to be on, right? As far as nutritional intake and a whole bunch of other, stuff that I have no clue about, no experience, never have done that. Just like I said earlier in this live started, that I don't have any experience in that. So I don't ever want to talk from this is what this person should have did or should not have did. I am just reading to you this article. That's it. So continuing back into the article, according to sources, Justin Mahaley of Elite Coaching Academy was allegedly working with Jodi, and he has already felt the wrath of the bodybuilding community regarding the protocol she was on. After a post Justin published on Jodi's Instagram page offering his condolences, he is already being asked some serious questions. One of Jodi's friends published a screenshot of Justin's Instagram page criticizing him for not even publishing one post to offer his condolences. And that is the end of this article, because it says more details will be reported as they become available. So this article titled Athlete Dies at the 2025 Arnold Sports Festival. And I asked how, I asked why, and the answer was severe dehydration, which led to a major heart attack, right? And this is maybe about the third or fourth bodybuilder that I have seen or read about them passing away. You know, this is the first one about dehydration, but the past couple ones have been like a heart attack. Some regarded their hearts. Now, I'm not one to get into steroids and no steroids or whatever the case may be. Again, I just have questions. I don't have any experience in this, but I can read. I can read and ask questions, right? You know, because it's how this person is young, you know, in the top fitness shape of their life, looks pretty good. But it goes to show you there's something internal going on with people, with this person, just like how there's something internal going on with me. There's something internal going on with you just as well. And eventually it will catch up to us. Now, that statement can always be taken, or it has always been taken as a negative, right? Oh, it's going to catch up with you. No, good things can catch up with us too, right? You know, just as well as bad things. So that's what I mean by that. Again, condolences to the family, condolences to her friends, condolences to her, you know, clients. This is crazy. This is crazy, because it's, you know, dehydration. Now, when it comes to hydrating, it's more than just water. You know, it's just more than just water. When I was experimenting with keto, probably about 3 or 4 years ago, the keto flu was something that so many people told me to look after, right? You know, be aware of the keto flu, beware of the keto flu. And I didn't understand it until I used this thing called Google and got a clear definition of it. And what it was that, you know, my electrolytes were going to be down. We're going to be severely restricted because most electrolytes are within your carb intake. And if you've been on keto for a long time, or just keto just in general, you know that your carb intake, you know, has to be low. You know, some say 25, anywhere 25 to 35, you know, grams of carbs per day. Excuse me. And compared to what we do now, what I did then before, that was a major, major, major drop off, right? So what I did to combat the electrolyte loss or possibility of electrolyte loss, you know, you replace the electrolytes that were going to be deficient. You know, at least at that time, if I can remember off the top of my head, magnesium, potassium, sodium, and there's one more. If you know that other one, you know, type it in the chat. But that gave so many people a headache when they didn't know to make sure you replace these electrolytes, because that can lead to dehydration and it can throw a lot of things off. So is this the type of dehydration she was going through? From what I have heard from people who compete in regards to either the day before, the day of, they reduce a lot of their sodium. A lot of their sodium intake goes down. And that's just one. Again, I don't know that world, because I see so many people. I don't know. I only got to see one person pass away from something and make me say, hey, you know what? That's enough. But in this bodybuilding world or this fitness world, when you love to do what you do, when you love to do that, then that is what you're going to do. That is simply, you know, what you're going to do. But I question, how can somebody pass from dehydration, right? What form of dehydration? So let's go to this thing that I used before. It's called Google. When you're trying to figure out the definition of something. So let's just put dehydration, right? Dehydration. Let's say fitness, right? Try to use some keywords, right? So let's see what first comes up. Lately, this AI overview has been coming up, right? So according to what does Google call their AI? I just typed in dehydration fitness, right? Um, Working out while dehydrated can have several negative consequences. Reduced performance, dehydration can impair muscle function and reduce endurance. This is because the body needs water to lubricate joints, just like Robin said, water is key. Transport nutrients to muscles and regulate body temperature. Increase risk of heat stroke when the body is dehydrated. It cannot cool itself effectively through sweating. This can lead to an increase in body temperature and can result in heat stroke and life-threatening conditions. Muscle cramps. Dehydration can cause electrolyte imbalance, like I was just talking about, which can lead to muscle cramps. This is because the electrolytes such as sodium and potassium are essential for muscle contraction. Fatigue and dizziness. Dehydration can cause fatigue, dizziness, and lightheaded. This is because the body needs water to transport oxygen to the brain and other organs. And lastly, increased risk of injuries. Dehydration can make the body more susceptible to injuries such as sprains and strains. This is because the body's protective mechanisms, such as lubrication and the joints, are impaired when it's dehydrated. So here are 5 tips. 5 tips. Here are 5 tips for staying hydrated during exercise. 1, drink plenty of water before, during, and after exercise. High quality H2O. High quality H2O. Like mine with lemon. 2, choose sports drinks that contain electrolytes if you are sweating heavily. I never was a big fan of Gatorade or anything like that growing up, but every now and then I get a Gatorade. Every now and then, if I'm feeling a little off somewhat, I'll drink one. Number 3, eat salty snacks such as pretzels or nuts to help replenish electrolytes. Number 4, monitor your urine color. Pale or light yellow urine indicates adequate hydration, while dark yellow and brown urine suggests dehydration. So if you're like me, I always look at my toilet when I'm through using the restroom. That way I can see, all right, do I need some more water? Have I been slacking? Because sometimes you can think that you had enough water or more liquids during the day, but you really haven't, or you haven't had the adequate amount. Some days you may need more than your normal day. And number 5, last but not least, if you experience any symptoms of dehydration, such as fatigue, dizziness, or muscle cramps, stop exercising and seek medical attention if necessary. So I just typed in dehydration in fitness, and it seems like the AI is taking over. AI is taking over. Skynet is taking over. And this is the first result that is given, right? This is the first result that is given as opposed to your normal articles, right? And I just typed in dehydration and bodybuilding, right? I'm just curious now about hydration and everything like that, in regards to bodybuilders, right? Because we can type in dehydration and fitness, and then type in dehydration and bodybuilding, and there are 2 different results, right? There's 2 different results. So I'm looking at this one. It says, should bodybuilders dehydrate before stepping on stage, right? The title caught me. This is too. This long. This is pretty long. Should I read this? Does severe dehydration optimally reveal physique? Okay, why dehydrate? But you know what? That is a good thing to read. Matter of fact, you got time today? If you got time today, let me know. And I can read this because this is from MYPROTEIN.com. Because I'm also curious on why they do dehydrate. Why do they flush out their body? Why do they dehydrate? What was the need? What was the need for that? What was the need for that? Let's look in here. So sad. The energy drinks are bad when the person is working out. Too much. You know, depends on which energy drink it is. But like those Red Bulls, I don't mess with those. I've never messed with Red Bulls. There's this. I don't have any right now. There's this brand called Aspire. Aspire. Matter of fact, I'm going to post it on my community wall later today. I just don't have it right now. You know what? I think I do. Hold on, let me see. Now that I say that, I do remember taking a picture of it. I can show you. Man, technology is dope. Okay, here it is. I did take a picture. Let's see. Okay, so can you see this? Okay, like these Aspire drinks. These were pretty good. And let's see. That black raspberry one, that is good. That mango lemonade. It's natural caffeine. I may drink one later in the afternoon for like a pick me up, you know. But other than that, man, maybe once a week type of situation. I don't need that much to kind of get me going in regards to going for the day. But yes, you're right. Like, man, I see people going to the gym like with, oh my God, they just take so much stuff. They just take so much stuff. I wanted to do this from Gold's Gym where I was at work, where I am a trainer for those who don't know. And the day never led me to do this live until where we're at right now. And I can't believe it's 2:40. I've been on here for 26 minutes. But anyway, before I read this article, you just see people on a lot of stuff. There's different stuff. When you talk to people, they ask, what are you on? You take anything or your pre-workout? I'm like, no, I just drink some coffee. You know what I mean? And it's not so much a need. I need to drink coffee for a pre-workout. It's just coffee, to me. If I get up and I start moving around, I don't need any coffee. It's more of a want. But, that's just me. But you'll see people take pre-workout mixed with Red Bull. And it's like, man, you are that down to a point to where you need all this electricity to wake up. You know what I mean? You need like the voltage to power a whole city to wake up in regards, and that's like in a cup or a glass or whatever. In regards to these pre-workouts, I just never got into it. Took it one time, I wrote about it on my blog, christiansweightsuccess.net. First time I took some C4 and just made me itch. And if I'm itching, then I'm not concentrating. I'm concentrating on relieving my itch. And it was just making my skin itch. And if my skin is itching, then how can I lift weights, any type of weights? I don't care if it's a bar that's 45 pounds. That's dangerous to be not concentrating on the weight that you're lifting because you're distracted because your body is just itching or is going through something else. Anytime you pick up any dumbbell, I don't care if it's 2 pounds, you need to have full concentration, point blank, period. But let's go into this article. Because I just typed in dehydration in bodybuilders, right? Because I want to know now, why do bodybuilders dehydrate their body? So this is from us.myprotein.com. And when this is over, I'll put this in. Well, can I do this now? Let's see if I can do this now. Every time I keep saying I'm going to start this article, I don't. I know you guys are like, will you hurry up? And I'm trying. But okay, let's see. Okay, let me put this here. Boom. Okay, now that I saved it, it's right under where it says the full article. It says should, I'm gonna copy and paste, should bodybuilders dehydrate before stepping on stage. Okay, so boom, there's there. And one more, and I promise you, I'm gonna start reading. All right, saved. Okay, so now you can look in the description and it's right there, right? It's titled, should bodybuilders dehydrate before stepping on stage? So let me just read this. If you follow any competitive bodybuilder on social media, you will likely see them talking about a peak week in the final week before a competition. The purpose of the peak week is to make manipulations to their current regime in order to get their body looking its absolute best before stepping on stage. One of the manipulations that is often made relates to the amount of water they drink. For the final week, competitors dramatically increase their water intake to anywhere between 10 to 12 liters a day. During the final 12 to 24 hours before competitors step on stage, they dramatically cut water intake in order to dehydrate the body. This is often said to be one of the hardest aspects of stepping on stage. But does this give them the best chance of winning? Let's have a closer look. Why dehydrate? When competing in a competition, bodybuilders are judged on the mass, definition, proportion, and symmetry of their muscular appearance. It is thought by many bodybuilders that dehydration of the body helps with the visibility of all these components and also increases vascularity. Vascularity helps demonstrate the competitor's extremely low level of body fat and increases their ripped appearance. One common theme with a lot of competitors is that on show day, they look flat, small, and less pumped compared to the days before and immediately after the show. So why this? Does severe dehydration optimally reveal a physique? First of all, the body is made up of 50 to 60% water. So make sure you get your high quality H2O. I keep saying that because I think about The Water Boy. That was one of my favorite movies for one-liners. Our muscles are made up of even more than that, around 75%. Water is stored both inside and outside of the muscle cells. Water inside muscle cells is great as it makes muscular muscles appear big and full. However, water outside of the cells, what is this word? Interstitial fluid, I don't know, can mimic a small layer of the body fat and decrease the appearance of the competitor's musculature. So should the aim be to completely dehydrate the body or to get as much water inside the muscles as possible? So if you are a bodybuilder, competitive bodybuilder, or know anybody, please chime in the comments, about this. Again, I don't know nothing about this, but I can read, right? If a complete dehydration approach is taken, this means the 75% of a muscle that is water will also be significantly depleted. This results in smaller and flatter looking muscles. This is obviously not good for a competitor. Keeping water intake normal, but ensuring the majority of it is stored in the muscle and not under the skin is key to looking full, hard, and dry on the shoulders. A lot of pausable moments in there, but we're going to keep going. Next section, maximizing muscle cell water content. So now we've discovered that complete dehydration is not optimal. Let's look at how the amount of water inside a muscle can be maximized while minimizing the amount of water under the skin. Some scientific stuff going on right here. I didn't know all this went into competitive bodybuilding. This is why it's a competition, because it's who's going to be the best. If you're not first, you're last. Word to Ricky Bobby. All right, let's go back to the article. This is usually where competitors start trying to alter the amount of sodium, potassium found in the bloodstream. Sodium attracts fluid outside of the cells, and potassium attracts fluid inside of the cells. So it is thought that if sodium is reduced or completely cut out, that this will allow potassium to attract more water into the cells. However, the kidneys are monitoring fluid and fluid balance continuously and are very, very intelligent organs. If you try to trick your body, the chances are it will solve the problem before you step on stage, and these extreme measures are often successful. I tell my clients this all the time. Your mind and your body are two different things. You can think you can want to do something, but your body be like, nah. You can be on, rep number 8 of 12, right? You're like, man, I'm going to knock out 12 reps, or whatever it is. Let's just say bicep curls, because that's what I did today. So in your mind, you've already told yourself, I'm knocking these 12 out. But this weight is a little heavy. This may be your third set, right? And on that 8th rep, you're cool. But that 9th rep is starting to tighten up. In that 10th rep, probably can't get it a quarter of the way up. In the 11th rep, your arms can't move. So once again, your mind and your body, they're always always in a battle. That's how I see it. And there are times where it can be in sync. There are times where it does get in sync, but the times where it doesn't, this is what I'm talking about, where there are two different things. So in this last line, it says, if you try to trick your body, the chances are it will solve the problem before you step on stage. And these extreme measures are often unsuccessful. In many studies where dietary sodium is reduced, levels of sodium secreted via urine are also reduced. A significant finding in the same studies is that levels of sodium in the blood actually remain the same. When levels of sodium are too low, it causes a significant drop in blood pressure, which triggers a series of reactions. Part of these reactions is an increase in hormone called aldosterone, which signals for the kidneys to secrete less sodium in effort to maintain blood sodium levels. Sodium and potassium are key in fluid balance. However, trying to manipulate them often overcomplicates the peak week and frequently doesn't have the desired effect. So, how do you ensure the majority of stored water is inside the muscle and not under the skin? Manipulate carbohydrate consumption. Remember when I was telling you about keto and you reducing your carbohydrate consumption? Maybe this got something to do with it, right? So let's go back. The reason water is attracted to sodium and potassium is that they are solutes, can't pronounce that word. Glycogen, the stored form of carbohydrates in the body, is also a solute. Every gram of stored glycogen attracts about 2.7 grams of water. Glycogen is stored in the muscle of the body. This is why after a day of consuming a high amount of carbs following a competition, bodybuilders often say they look better. Their muscles look full, the skin is tight, and they look big because of their muscles have filled up with glycogen, and glycogen has taken water with it inside the muscle. Is it possible to overconsume carbs and cause glycogen levels to overfill, meaning the excess also ends in the intestinal fluid? And no, that's the wrong word. It's not intestinal. Interstitial. I don't know. interstitial fluid. And again, there is the problem of having water under the skin. So consuming the right amount is key. Depleting glycogen stores for 2 to 3 days before the show by consuming fewer carbs and then a carb up the day before. The show is great. The show is a great way to ensure muscles are fully stocked with glycogen and subsequently water. So this is a lot of ups and downs and manipulating carbs and glycogen levels. And I'm pretty sure one has to do blood work before getting into all this. I would assume, because this looks like a lot of kind of like manipulation, right? This looks like a lot of manipulation as far as with the body, but this has been done successfully over years where people have been successful and not died. We're just talking about this one situation where somebody passed away because of it. We got a couple more paragraphs and we're done with this, but the conclusion and recommendations. The following conclusion only applies if adequate hydration is achieved on a daily basis. If adequate hydration is achieved on a daily basis throughout the prep of the show, the body will always be already in the habit of flushing any excess and not holding on to any. As you can probably tell, the peak week can be made to be quite confusing. From analyzing the science and from speaking to many experienced competitors, it also appears water intake normally for the majority of the week is the safest option to avoid looking flat or small on stage. Increasing water for just one day before a show will ensure the body is flushed, quote, and not dehydrated at all. However, this is not essential. Keeping water and sodium normal in the days prior to an event will maintain physiological homeostasis, and the body will continue to flush excess water and sodium as normal via urine. So through your urine, right? Trying to trick the body is very risky, as it is likely to be smarter than you and fix the problem before competitors step on stage, meaning the desired effect is not always achieved. Working with your body instead of trying to trick it is the best path to success. A simple carb depletion followed by a slight carb up the day before the show will ensure that muscles are stocked with glycogen and water and are full, big, and pumped on the show day. This will also ensure the majority of the water is in the muscles and not under the skin. It is important, last but not least, to have a few trial runs before the show to ensure you know how many grams of carbs to consume and which foods to consume them from. Competitors get themselves looking amazing without tricking the body. So the final week should not be any different. So this article titled "Should Bodybuilders Dehydrate Before Stepping on Stage?" written at us.myprotein.com because I typed in dehydration and bodybuilder. And this is one of the first articles that popped up, other than more articles talking about the passing of Jodi, Jodie Vance. It's kind of crazy. It sounds like the VP, JD Vance. So this is Jodie Vance. That's why I was like, oh, let me make sure I get this name right. So, in conclusion, is that if you want to be a bodybuilder, these are some of the things that are going to be at risk. Obviously your health. You're going into a health competition to show off, your hard work. I've had several bodybuilders, people who've competed in bodybuilding on my podcast. I'm just trying to think of their name right off the back. Felicia, I think her last name was Starks. Felicia Starks. Did Brittany Miller? I think Brittany did. I think no, Brittany. Um, Gosh, who else? Who else? You all have been subscribed to me for long enough to come across my podcast and remember some of the names. I want to call his name. No, Antonio. Antonio was a bodybuilder. Um, Dr. Mays, last name. So that's five. That's five people I've had who are competitive bodybuilders. I was on my podcast. That's five. And there's another one. It's a female. It's a female. I can't really think of her name. I see her face. But anyway, I remember interviewing them a couple times about when they dropped their weight and got ready to walk across that stage, for the first time. And the mental prep that they had to go through, let alone the physical prep, and just pushing themselves. Now, even when I had dropped my weight back in 2014, I don't ever recall having a desire to bodybuild like that. No, just didn't. Everybody's different, right? It almost seems like a way of a rite of passage, right, to be a fitness creator or fitness content creator, one way or another. At least that's how I saw it. Whereas everybody's a competitor or a former competitor. People have competed, one way or another in some type of form of, competition in regards to the physical and the strength or whatever. I was never interested in none of that. I was just never interested in none of that. That's just me. That's just part of my personality. If I see, everybody going right, I'm gonna go left. Again, that's just me. But when you're entering this world of competitive bodybuilding, there's a lot of stuff you have to be careful on and do your due diligence and do your research. And shoot, in this article about, Jodie Vance, they were trying to treat, not trying to treat, let me rephrase that. They have been questioning her coach. They were questioning her coach and the protocols her coach had her on. And ultimately your life is technically in somebody's hands when it comes to that. If they're prescribing you anything, whether it's medication or drugs, legal or illegal, they're giving you some information based off of their experience, and their experience doesn't solely have to mean their only experience. It can mean experience with them and other clients and former clients, right? So, and just with that being said, just be careful. Make sure you hydrate yourself. Keep some high quality H2O. Keep some high quality H2O, around you. Let me take this green screen off because it's kind of getting, I don't know if I can do it. Can I take it? Can I turn it off? Boom. Okay. Now we're back on track. Boom. So, stay hydrated. When you're working out, make sure you are adequately hydrated and don't try to do what I did or do what I do on a couple times to where you kind of babysit in water. It's like, oh, I don't want to drink, all of that because my stomach is going to feel full. It's like, yeah, that way you can eat less and reduce your caloric intake. Not even so much carbs, not even so much fats, not even so much proteins. Your caloric intake. Once you start monitoring your caloric intake, you won't have to be so paranoid about what it is that you are eating. I get a lot of requests about, help me lose weight. What can I do to lose weight? And they go on to say, I need a meal plan. And I tell them, you do not need a meal plan. I do not want to sell you a meal plan, and you do not need to buy a meal plan from anybody. You need to know how many calories you should eat. And if you ever question about how many calories you should eat, then you can go to click the link in my bio or in the description. You can get my How Many Calories You Should Eat ebook, right? My link tree is in the description. I'm over here cleaning my iPhone case. That's why my hands are moving around. But this will give you a guide of how many calories you should eat, whether you're to lose weight or whether you're to gain weight. This is just free information. This is information on there because I don't understand how people can charge somebody for a meal plan if you don't even know what they're allergic to. You don't even know um, how this person operates. And people have been getting away with it. I'm not hating or nothing. I'm just telling you where you can go get the information for free. Right. So again, how many calories should I eat? It'll give you a guide on how many calories you should eat if you want to lose weight, if you want to gain weight, whether you want to maintain weight. You plug in your height, your weight, your gender, what else? How much you weigh, and there's one more: how much you weigh, and what is your goal, right? And you hit enter after you get through pressing that. It'll spew out you some numbers. It'll spew out you some numbers about, okay, this is your daily caloric intake. I'm just throwing out a wild number, it's 2,500 calories, right? And to give you your macros, your fats, your carbs, your protein. Excuse me. How many grams of each one of those you should have for the day, right? And at least it gives you some type of North Star to shoot for, to guide for, right? Because it's on you. It's on you to take care of yourself. It's on you to take care of your body. You don't need to buy a meal plan. You don't. It just sounds good. It just sounds good because 90% of them are going to be chicken and rice, chicken and rice, chicken and rice. Nothing really worthwhile. Empower yourself. Empower yourself because if you have a goal to lose weight or whatever your fitness goal is of course you have to seek out help. Of course you have to seek out a guide, right? But me as that guide, I'm going to give you so much free stuff. It's just resources because I use this thing called Google and I type in stuff and it gives me a result and I sift through the information. I get that a lot. And it does sound condescending, but it should not, because if you're watching me from a phone or a desktop, then 90% of the chance is that, I would say 99.9, you can use Google. The thing is when you're not being as active. And of course want a instant we want instant information, right? Like you can type in the chat a question for me and I may answer it, I may not. But if it's a question that is Googleable, yes, Googleable, do it. Do it. Don't wait for nobody. You can do it yourself. You can do it yourself. You know, um, if you're on a phone or a computer, just use Google. What are the advantages of this? What are the disadvantages of this? How much should I have this? How much? And then just go through several articles. Don't just go through the first one. So this is why I created that free ebook about how many calories you should eat, because I would get it so much. And I'm like, I'm not charging anybody for a meal plan, because that's the first thing people tell me. I need a meal plan. It's like, no, you don't. You need to know how many calories you should eat. Because what's the purpose of a meal plan if you do not know how many calories you're supposed to eat for the day, how many calories you're supposed to eat per meal, right? So this is a free resource because you got to take your life in your hand, or else you'll get a coach who could possibly put you on the wrong protocol for your body type. And next thing you know, you don't get to wake up the next day. You don't get to see your family the next day. And is it worth it, right? Is it really worth it? I don't say no. It's just I don't want to say vanity in a negative way. Vanity in a good way. If your physique is up to par to where you feel confident enough to share it with the world, go for it. This is not to um this is not to harp on the bodybuilding community. It's like, no, this is not to harp on you if this is one of your goals to be a bodybuilder or whatever. No, this is not that. If anything, it encourages you to just be more mindful. Just be more mindful of what you're doing, who you're doing it with, and most importantly, to stay hydrated. Spring is here. That means summer's going to be right around the corner. We're always looking ahead, but every day, Just make sure, you drink water. Like this is 32 ounces, and this is how much I've had so far, which is not enough. So I'm going to down this and refill it later, and refill it, and that will give me 1 gallon. That will give me 1 gallon. Did I say this is 32 ounces? Is 64 ounces? I'm sorry, 64 ounces. So two of these will be a gallon. I'm sorry. So two of these will be a gallon. But we have been on here for 50 minutes. My subscribers only. Um, subscribers only. I appreciate it. And bro, that's the camera angle. That's the camera angle, bro. I appreciate it. But I appreciate you taking your time out with me today. And I appreciate right now, currently I got 10 people, 10 subscribers. Well, hopefully 10 of my subscribers. But yeah, subscribers only. Man, the reason why I didn't do this yesterday is that I can't customize my live to where I can have subscribers only, subscribers only chat, right? Where the only people who are subscribing that you can see in the chat are those who are subscribed to me and have been subscribed to me. When I leave this open, when I leave the comment section open, you will be amazed at what I see on this end. It's ridiculous. A lot of computer stuff, then it's a lot of real people doing dumb stuff. It's like, who wakes up and anyway, that's a tangent. But let me get off of here. I appreciate your time. If you got any questions, man, just hit me up. Matter of fact, I want somebody to post in the comment section. I was supposed to put something on my community wall about, you know what? I put it in the background. That's right. So I don't have to put it up, but I still will just for you. I appreciate you, and holler back at me. I got to get some Laker highlights too, because my Lakers are up right now. I'm not going to let this live in without propping up my Lakers. As you see, we got Kobe in the background. We got Kobe in the background looking over us. We got Sean looking over us just as well too. And yeah, let me get off of here.